Hello all, and welcome to the June 23rd Contributor Comms team meeting. I am Chris Short, co-lead of these sub-projects. We have a lot of people out today, but Federico and I are here to discuss all the things. Federico, I'll remind you that we follow the CNCF Code of Conduct here.
Noted.
And, I don't want anything bad to happen in this meeting between you and I. So...
I'll do my best.
Yeah, if you're in the dock like me, you want to add anything, go ahead. But yeah, the Caslyn's out today. She's on a plane at the moment, so I'm running the show at the moment. So yes. My updates at least are, well, I'll wait for Art, but since he's joining and there's only two of us. but so my big updates are Zapier things are moving. Nigel's taking a look at things and trying to get the right access so he can verify everything's working right. And we think there's a G drive component that's broken, and then it'll be working. Hopefully. Also, if you were in the ContribEx meeting this week, you heard from Peter, yes, that the Code Spaces contributor workshop stuff is almost done. It's literally a PR away. Sujay is working on the Slack bot. He dropped that in chat, and Avanish said he would report in chat later anything he needed. So this is it for this meeting, folks. Feel free to include things and unmute and discuss.
Yeah, I've added a couple of them.
Awesome.
I've actually also made this change in the board, but I think this is useful. The updates big win one is actually useful for us to make any change in state of things more visible, right? So starting,
you want me to go to the board real quick, or
yes, you can, or
yeah, here.
Yeah, so you will see that in the
Is this the right board? Upstream marketing
I mean,
this might be the wrong board.
If you're right,
blog PRs, here we go.
Okay, that is the one that I know.
This is the old one still, I think, right?
Okay,
I thought we deleted this. Did we not?
I haven't, but I don't think that
okay, may need to delete. Got it. I'll put that in the notes.
Yes, an item in the new board to kill the old one.
Yes, like we have to be, like, everyone in the world has to be better about cleaning up after software, right? Like it's just a thing. All right, so this is the right one.
Yeah.
Yay. Awesome.
You will see that there's the last entry in one fix is the spotlight on the book reading club.
Interesting.
I've talked with Carlos on this, and it told me that the activity itself is winding down, so it's doesn't really make sense to go to a spotlight about that. So that's one. The other one, it's in the ready for review. Actually, both are the same thing. I just left the draft in there, but since I've also opened the PR. That's the initial, very simple README, just linking to the existing files there. I actually didn't delete the draft because there was a comment there around images, which I'm not sure if I've completely addressed it, because there's not one image related document, but that's the information about images is included in one of the documents there. But so I think it's done. So that's open for review. So we can obviously now do any suggestions and editing there. I just did some mild spell checking, etc. So even on that front, I'm sure that there are suggestions, but I've kept it as simple as possible, just to be sure that people that land on that page can understand what is the structure around it. And I've tried to order things according to the topics, like the spotlight, the blogs, and at the end the channel communication stuff, etc. This also was a useful exercise because I think the different documents there have were done at different points in time, certainly, and maybe having this will help us in knowing that perhaps we need to update some of them. Like, for example, the multi-channel communications with the recent advances in terms of Mastodon and stuff like that. Maybe that's a good place to reflect that. So I guess this also helps in providing us with more visibility, because one thing is to have a folder full of Markdown files, the other is have linked document with a description.
Yeah, and I love docs that link off, like an index doc is the best, right? Like that's what I want to go to figure out where to get started and move on with life, kind of thing. Yeah, totally.
So that's up for review. We can obviously improve it there, but at least it's out there, right?
Yeah.
Let me.
Anything else? Sorry.
Let me think. Well, not in terms of updates. I do have a couple of status updates on other board stuff, like this SIG Architecture Spotlight article. I've updated the actual issue with the lists of projects that have replied. I have 2 full replies right now.
Nice.
I have 1 partial one, which I didn't indicate because it wasn't ready, but it's still has content. And I have 2 to go. So that's the status of it. I've pinged everyone this week, got some, in general, I'm getting feedback. While that doesn't necessarily translate to having answers there, at least having feedback saying, I need a week more, etc. I think that's still useful, and that's it for that. Not much. Another one. We have the spotlight on the contributor summits. I've asked the last lead to tell me if this was a good time to go through this, because work is in progress for the North America KubeCon. So depending on the roles that people take, maybe this is a good time, and maybe it isn't. So yeah, that's it. I'm waiting on feedback on that one, but I'm waiting on feedback that I've asked in this morning. So it's still up to us.
Cool.
Then for me, that's I think everything.
That's all.
Yeah. That is.
Thank you, Federico. We appreciate all the work you do. We really do.
No, thank you. It's not nothing.
Anybody else? Anything to ask, discuss, updates?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I have actually drafted the first draft of the 6 CLI blog. It is not updated with the links or something, but like it's the very initial version of the blog. So I have done it on HackMD. So let me just share the link. Yeah, so here's it is like a very initial version of the blog. Is there any feedback regarding this blog post layer? Right, I am doing this for the first time. So
okay, yeah, Federico, you want to take that?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I was opening it. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, I mean, I
structure-wise, it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Please remind me. Remember me. Repeat. Remind me. We already did. You already share this, and or because sometimes I forget things, right? Apologies for that. So I think I remember discussing this and having an initial conversation, right? But
Yep,
now it's on.
actually,
Yeah.
I am also late in drafting this due to I am traveling to KCD Mumbai and all. So
Yeah, yeah.
sorry for that from my side for the delay. But like I have drafted this yesterday, and
Yeah.
like it is a very initial version. I have not updated the links yet, like the speakers link, their profiles and all.
Yeah.
I need to do that, but it is a basic outline of the blog. Like if
Yeah.
there is some
Yeah.
mistake
It's fine.
missing, or like I can add something on the feedback. So
Yeah.
I thought to share it with you, and actually I cannot find. I want to DM you regarding this, but I cannot
Yeah.
find you on Slack. Like there are 2 or 3 or folks of the same name, so I am like confused of. So
Okay.
so I
If
decided to.
well, if you, I generally, if you go to the SIG ContribEx comms channel, you'll find me there.
Yeah, I
With,
find you. If I'm not
with an
wrong,
Indiana
it's
Jones
on
hat.
your profile photo.
Yeah, but anyway, let's focus on things. I think this looks structure-wise fine. I will take an additional look. If you agree, what I will do is I'll add a link to this in the SIG ContribEx comms channel as well, so that people can join in and do it. Share some thoughts. You can reflect them there, and then we can, well, we give it a couple of days, a week tops, and then we'll open the PR, and that's it. I mean, the most difficult part of this is to getting the answers. You have that. So, and actually you are interviewing two different persons, right?
Yeah, actually, one is Katrina and the other one is Messias. So, yeah. So actually, I did an asynchronous interview, and I give them the Google Docs to write the answers, and they have written that. So I have converted them into the blog. So I think these answers need some grammatical refinement. So I am going to do that too as well in this. But like do I need to change the structure or something? Like what I did is here I divide the blogs or the interview sections into the parts, like originally what I did with the questions, like these questions are about the 6 CLI, these questions are about the challenges, and the other and the last part is of the contribution. So do I need to divide these, or should I remove the sections, or anything else?
Okay. I mean, looks great. Let's I'll take a look as well. You also add the refinements that you have already identified. I'll add the first step link to the SIG ContribEx com so that anyone can take a look, and then we will just take it from there and proceed naturally. I would move this into ready for review in the board if it isn't there already.
I will do that now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Oh, that's SIG-ARC.
No.
Is that right? No.
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong one.
It's the above
there
one.
it is. Yeah.
Perfect. Moving things and between lanes gives me an endorphin rush. It's great.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyone else? I'm gonna make a note in here. Can I make a note in here? No. Okay. I was gonna copy pasta the HackMD in here. Or the HackMD link, I should say. Here we go. All right, cool. Put that in the notes. Yep. Okay, cool. Already did. Anything else today, folks? Can someone shed some light on what roles I can help with as a shadow or volunteer at KubeCon Contributor Summit in a 2023 virtually? I don't think we do a virtual component to the Contributor Summit anymore, to be honest with you. But that doesn't mean you can't participate. I know I what did I do last time? I did comms last time. I did not actually go to the event, right? So it's possible for you to be like a shadow for comms, but that also means you want to take over as a lead for comms too. So just keep that in mind, right? Like if you volunteer for a shadow this go out, the next time you might be asked to lead. So just keep that in mind. I led comms last time and went great. I'll shadow this time just to make sure, you know, people have help. That's the one thing I couldn't necessarily rely on. Everybody that volunteered to help me wasn't always fast to give me feedback. Federico, you got probably a lot of more feedback than I do on that.
Yeah, no, actually, I might follow your path and maybe submit myself as a comms shadow if that's useful, because maybe that's one of the things that I can do.
I think it's very
this time.
useful.
Okay,
because like being a single person, like this is just me, right? Like I think like Chris is highly confident, right? Even I hesitate before I hit send to the entire community, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
It's intimidating. So any help that you can give, I'm sure it will be appreciated this time out.
So I'll go there. To your question, last time I only participated last time, and I was leading the events team, and that was marked as strictly on location, right?
Yeah.
So
you
there
were,
were a couple
team, yeah.
on site, yeah. So there were at the Europe KubeCon, different teams had different requirements, which means that some of them actually welcomed virtual participants. But this was then. I haven't since I'm not going to the North America KubeCon. I haven't taken a deep look there. I might do so now because what Chris mentioned, maybe that's something I can help with. But I would take, and maybe you already did this, Sandipan, take a look into the issue that was open for this, and check if they have updated information on the teams that are looking for shadows, if there's any documented on-site virtual requirements there. If there isn't, then maybe they've moved to an on-site only thing. But I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, there's a. If you mention in SIG ContribEx that you'd like to be a part of the next contributor summit planning, they'll pull like there's going to be a PR or an issue where you volunteer for stuff, and you know you can kind of go from there once it starts rolling. I just checked the summit staff channel. I didn't see anything in there. Have they already started like
let me
or...
I've received the let me see.
I've been so busy at work I can't pay attention right now.
Let me see if I can. Actually, yes, and Sandipan already is already there. So yeah, I'm seeing on my email notifications.
Okay.
Let me. I'll add the link here.
Thank you.
This is the. Where is Zoom? It's in here. Where's chat? Right, this is it.
Okay.
And actually,
it's damn near full.
Actually, there are a couple of questions. Sandipan already said that he would like to shadow for comms and help with content. Then Ilediayo asked if there's any opportunity for virtual contributors, etc. What?
I'm just gonna.
There's an update here. We have a strong preference that participants as lead shadows and volunteers be present at the Contributor Summit to help on site.
Mm-hmm.
This does not mean that you cannot help virtually. There will be opportunities, and we encourage you to come to planning meetings in order to find virtual opportunities. The way I parse this is that, I mean, they are not saying no, but they are not saying yes either. I
Right.
guess that's strong preference, and you can still help. For me, means
Mhm.
if you want to be a shadow, you should be on site. If not, you will not be a shadow, but you can assist in
Volunteer,
other
yeah.
ways. Exactly.
Yeah, so I intend to be on site this time. So yeah, that's gonna work for me very well. I was very sad in Europe I could not go to the Contributor Summit because I've never been to a Contributor Summit in Europe before, and I still haven't.
Nice. I
So
would
yeah,
love to
that's
go
what
to
happens when
North
you're running
America,
your
but
yeah, that's what happens when you're running your company's day zero virtual hybrid event thingy. So yeah. No, this is awesome. Yeah, I think I mean, having been in the meeting this week, so like Shadow in general, and we've had this discussion in this meeting, I think Shadow in general is a ladder system, right? Like that's how it's originally intended. So if you volunteer to shadow something, eventually the expectation will be you'll lead that something or co-lead that something, right? So I think that's how I got involved in leadership here was, you know, I just started showing up at the meetings and doing things. And then eventually it was like, shadow this. And then now you're a co-lead. So yeah, there needs to be just the same kind of ladder system that we have here, right? Across the project. We have to remind folks of that, I think was the big takeaway from the meeting. Because volunteering for shadow and not showing up to help ever is a very routine thing for this stuff. So like, I get it. There's time offsets, but I totally had it set up to where I could work asynchronously with my team. And I just didn't get much feedback or help. So towards the end, it was more like, okay, I'll write it. Okay, I'll do all the work.
yeah. If you can't really depend on it, you end up actually sometimes it's worse because
sometimes it's much worse. Yeah.
Because if you know that you will do it, then you prepare for it. But otherwise, yeah, absolutely. I had most of the people ended up helping, but I also had some that for completely understandable reasons couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people have to back out. I get that. That's totally acceptable.
But after,
right?
but you have everything planned, like slots and stuff, and suddenly you have to cover it. So yeah, I understand why the on-site thing is also there. And I actually add this on-site with people on site. So I can imagine that for virtual it will be even worse because there's less engagement. Let's be honest, right? One thing is to be there with people, the other is to be remote.
Yeah.
So Sandipan, to make a long story short, I think that strictly speaking, for shadowing the North America Contributor Summit, the way that I'm reading this is that, well, you can help, but not necessarily in the same way that shadows were onboarded previously. That's my reading on this. But I mean, you can. I think that the meeting itself is open, so maybe you can ask.
Yeah, feel free to chat and channel about it, asking folks, right? Like was a lead identified, or that I guess that's who opened the issue, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Good old Nigel. So Nigel's awesome to work with too, by the way. Like seriously, if you have the opportunity to work with Nigel, you should do it. Yeah, so there's already a lead for Reg.
Yeah.
It's already a lead
They have
for
operations
day of.
and
yeah. It's coming
Natalie,
together nicely.
I spoke with Natalie, and she took over. Actually, a good one, because Natalie, for example, was a
Yeah.
shadow. That goes into your ladder
Mhm.
ladder comment, right?
Right. Yeah, it's good to see that. I'll just like that's working. Like as we put emphasis on that, it'll be awesome. Just out of curiosity, what are like the visa issues between India and France? Like what's I don't understand that international relationship, obviously, but I hear about it like happening to folks trying to come to the EU from India all the time. I guess I should Google it before I ask y'all, but yeah. Anything else for this particular meeting?
Nope.
Cool. All right. Well, let's wrap it up. A whopping 33-minute meeting.
That's 3 minutes. Yeah.
All
Actually,
right,
we covered
folks.
everything, so it's great.
Yeah, I mean, we did it. So cool. All right. Meeting adjourned. Y'all have a great weekend. Thank you all
Likewise.
for tuning
Cheers.
in.
Bye-bye.
And see you later.